Hey everybody, if you offend easily, then I pity the fool. No, seriously, that's not mine, and if you didn't know that, then you're probably too young for this channel, or at least to understand half of what I'm about to talk about, so I can't help it if you get lost from here. Y'all, last we spoke, I was making mention about childhood memories, things that happened in days of yore, and basically somewhat revealing how old I am. I know it's not old, but it's getting there. Okay, but I got triggered by a memory of the way my brothers and I used to entertain ourselves growing up, how to end the boredom. Now this is when I was, because I have older brothers, so it was more like, how did my brothers get me to stop annoying them? Because we all kind of had to play together anyway. So I kind of got pushed into an advanced mind frame in order to keep up with them. And I'm not saying that to be some sort of humble brag, although if you take it that way, yay for me. Um, but we were bored and we had to contend with one another, especially with stressed parents. So, one of the things we used to do, your world creation, that how I started world creation, I guess is how I should title this video, because we had at our disposal games, you know, some board games, a lot of cards. We played a lot of card games, like, oh my goodness. But we had other games. And no, I'm not talking like video games, you spoiled critters. No, no, no. We were way too poor for that sort of thing. And when we did finally have one, I wasn't allowed to touch it. And that was smart. Given the way I play video games now, my mom had the right idea to not let me do it as a kid. So we had to entertain ourselves other way, and world creation was how it was done. And when I say world creation, y'all, we had leftover paper from the school year that we would tape together until we had this giant, like 4x4 poster board, or like, yeah, like this massive poster out of loose leaf paper, so that we could create maps. And I actually created one just for y'all so that I could show y'all what I meant by that. Okay, so don't judge. Okay, when I say that we were young, y'all, I was 6, 7, 8, 9, you know. And that's around when my brothers were old enough to leave the house, or the first one was 10, 9, 10, So this is, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Yeah, we did this. Now, I am fortunate enough in my adult years that that's actually graph paper, okay, grid paper. And one of the things I want to do with this, because I actually want to use this, I got inspired by nostalgia, okay? But y'all can see I've got the big squares, I got the little squares, okay? Yeah, you drew it with pencil, and then you went behind and you put marker over it, and your marker died part of the way through, so you had to get a new marker, or started to die, and then when you went to erase the pencil, you creased your paper and got mad because your poster was just all nice and pretty until that point. So you get all upset about it, but you must contend, because do you really want to go through and start all over again? You'll get mad for wasting all that loose leaf paper that you were already wasting. Anyway, the things we did for childhood. So what I want to do is actually use this. Y'all may remember from previous videos, I have a D&D group, and part of it consists of middle schoolers, high schoolers, young high schoolers. So I have to contend with that sense of humor, which is great because I'm actually really immature. So I have no problem with fart jokes and poop jokes and crap like that. So I don't mind. Actually, it makes for funny role play because, like I said, we get kind of slapstick with the actual role play itself. So, what I want to do there. Okay, what we would do as kids is each of us would pick a species, a fantasy species. So My brother Stormy always got elves because he was, yeah, he always got elves. I always chose half elves because I was disgruntled that I didn't get elves. And my other brother chose dwarves because those are rad and cool, and he was that guy anyway. So, and we would pick a color. Like Stormy would get red. I would probably get, I got purple because when he finally got around to starting a coven, he credited me for teaching him that magic was real. And I was Queen Amethyst in his coven, so because my color was purple, Queen Amethyst of the half elves, y'all. I kid you not, that's where I got his coven name from. I was playing this game with him as a kid, just to show you how deep those roots can run. The earliest arts and crafts can have a big effect, and I'm going to walk y'all down this. So if this video gets long, put up with it. So and my other brother would get something like, I don't know, it might be blue, it might be green. I don't remember what his color was. It was probably green, though, I want to say. But I could be remembering wrong. And we would battle for these squares. Okay. When I say battle, I mean all the games we had. We wouldn't just sit there and no, you sat there with a board game. You yelled and screamed and threw Monopoly money at each other. You played Crazy Eights. You played Go Fish. You played Slapjack and hurt your sibling. Like, this is how we fought for territory. It was an entire freaking tournament until every square on the board was taken. And then you drew borders. And then you created the landscape. And then you got political. Hey, I'm going to go invade that territory, or hey, we're going to negotiate this treaty, and we kind of LARPed this. My earliest memories were cosplay, and lo and behold, I married a cosplayer. In case y'all didn't know where St. Alan got his sewing ability, remember, he sewed my wedding dress. St. Alan's a cosplayer, and it's just kind of just now dawning on me, like, ding, oh, I married a cosplayer. Go figure, y'all were there for that light bulb moment. So, and we dressed up as our characters because we had a whole characters and we didn't play just one character. No, we multi-carried. And then we created stories about backstories. And then we created real-time stories with one another, LARPing these things out. And this is how we entertained ourselves as kids. Now, y'all may remember I have, like I said before, I have a D&D group that's kind of waiting on me to finish revamping my entire D&D system. And I have taken on a huge job. I have taken on a massive job that involves a lot of typing on a typewriter. Okay? And that's before anybody fills out their character sheet. I have taken on a huge task. So I'm thinking, because they're all kind of waiting on me, that I wouldn't mind starting the tournament with them. Because after they fight for the individual big squares, they can then battle down the smaller squares within and create unique borders and neighborhoods and stuff, like world building, And speaking of world building, like that kind of young background, by the time I got on the internet, and no, I was not allowed that when I was a kid. Although, y'all, it wasn't really, like, by the time I actually got on the internet, we're talking like dial-up and AIM, and that brings me to AIM chat rooms, role-playing chat rooms. I had the boyfriend, the boyfriend that, which boyfriend? He was the one that saved. He was the one that saved me from. God, I gotta remember how I actually described him to y'all. See, he was the guy from Vermont that I had that magical summer with. I talked to y'all about it in a video where we had the fireballs in the back of Suburbia Metairie. Out of a brass cauldron and over a fire pit. That guy, he got me into role playing. He had the character. He was playing in the chat rooms, and that's how I learned to go in and play in the chat rooms and how to create the private chat rooms. And I never made it onto the Gaia platform like some of y'all did. Some of y'all old enough did. or anything like that. But um, it was like a brand new world, literally, it was a whole new world. So you start, with a background like this kind of thing, you role playing already. Like, I dove right into this. It was fish in water type thing. So you take it from there, and then you meet the right group of co-authors. Like, I grew up with my brothers, so having a group to workshop with felt natural. And so there's a group of us that are sitting there and creating worlds together, and characters, and multiple characters, and backstories, and really taking these things onto themselves. I guarantee you the tattoo on my back has been, and I say has been because I've actually had it worked on 5 times, but it's always been about that role play. Because when me and this guy broke up, he actually gave me permission to kind of do what I wanted, run off with it, and I did. Y'all, I created for over 15 years. I created a world unto myself. And when I say I created, I mean this workshop. Y'all, for any of y'all that happen to ever be watching this video one day, I could not have ever created Shebalba without y'all. Y'all made world building fun, enlightening, educational, taking what I already knew and going to the nth degree of everything that could possibly be. The mingling of all of our imaginations together. Y'all were the very best, and I thank y'all. And it is with the experience I gained from y'all that I'm currently trying to build a new world all on my own. And I gotta say, I miss y'all, but I need to do this on my own, and I'm excited for it. But world building is not linear. It kind of oozes outward all over the place. So multi-carrying all over the place, just like we all did. And then next thing you know, you've got maps. You're sitting there on programs like freepaint.net, moving pixels and border lines on land masses, turning that into an actual map on things like MapGen and Paint. Oh, let me erase this word off of there by carefully moving some pixels and moving it around until you got it just right, creating the landscape. And just world building. You find sites like IMVU and Second Life. Although I came from Zwinky. I went from the Yahoo chat rooms and Skype and all of that, and I went into Zwinky for a while. And that's where someone told me about IMVU, and I went from there, and that's when my role-playing world really exploded. But by that point, I was a little older, Like I said, look good. But over the years, all of the different things that can be done now in the name of role play. I never did get a chance to to LARP Yarden. Never got a chance to. Should probably work on that one more time before it's too late. But by and large, y'all, I feel like Shebalba landed in a spot for me that was good. The Dawn of the Dana Crodius felt like the perfect ending. So I went on and moved on to a new world that I'm creating. And just like what I did with y'all, have a map. I have a black and white map of my world. I have multiple cities. I have oodles of characters. And I just randomly write paragraphs as the characters talk to me. And anybody who knows, if you know, you can have multiple characters in your head that suddenly go visit other people's heads. Like, y'all, I would get tired of my own characters and send them to somebody else. Go play with your girlfriend in so-and-so's head. Okay, I was so good at playing a guy, y'all. Like, I was apparently very convincing. And I played an ultimate horn dog. I remember a friend of mine, she hadn't seen her in a while. She's like, and she played the same family, not the same lineage of family, but she played the same family as Yarden. And she's like, she's not going to be, because, they're part succubus, incubus, those type of creatures. And she's like, if you're going to try and do it that way, it doesn't work that way on her. I went, I won't. She goes, how are you going to get him to appeal to her? I went, I'm going to talk your panties off. And he didn't go that far, but she by the time he was done, she's like, I see why now. I see why he's that popular. I'm like, Y'all, I was good. And I say was in the sense that I don't do that anymore, not because I can't do that anymore. All right. Trust me, the concept of writing smut more than once has appealed to me. Haven't done it yet, but thinking about it, Thinking about it. Know I'd be good at it. Um, so that probably age restricts this video now. Thanks. But either way, the building ooze is what I call it. And it starts with the tournament. It starts with the tournament. And this is how we entertained ourselves as kids. Y'all, I've been in an earthy mood today. I watered my plants. I'm at a point in my life, y'all, I couldn't grow things to save me, to save them. I couldn't grow things most of my life. And then I asked for this house and I wanted a crappy yard. I inherited one with roses growing. And I have somewhere along the way, I developed the yellow thumb because I could barely keep aloe vera alive, although I killed bamboo. I can kill bamboo. It's insane. You know, the little bamboo plants that you don't even have to pay any attention to. Yeah, I can kill them. So something about these roses though, like I feel a connection. I go out and talk to them. I feel them respond to it. Like, y'all, that rose bush for 2 years, I asked it if it would produce roses, and it went bonkers this year. It was in the top 2. It was second place. Number 1 was actually the one that was damn near dead when I moved in. I'm impressed. My 2 worst plants suddenly did the best out of all of them this year. I'm like, yes, you know, and I'm talking to my tree in the front yard going, I'm going to get you healed again. And I'm moving my aloe vera around going, because I had this great grandmother that needed separating. And one of her babies did really bad with the separation, so I moved it back. And I'm watching it. I'm like, I see you. So I'm watching my plants do better. And I feel this very earthy energy going on today, which is good, because that's a good sign. So today we're going with our medicine card, animal card, medicine card deck. And we're going to be doing the Oracle of the Shapeshifters, my fairy tarot cards. All right, now hold on. Let me fix that in my throat, okay? Get your head out the gutter. I heard that. I'm gonna pull a couple of these for y'all, cause yeah, like I said, the video's running a little long. Deal with it. So I'm gonna pull a couple of these for y'all and see what the cold reading has for all of us today. Okay, we're all in this together. Today we have Mermaid in a Koi Pond. Rediscover your individuality. Become the dragon. Okay, wow, no, that glare does not work for me. We're just going to simply do it like this, like we've been doing for a while. That works, right, y'all? Y'all don't mind me peeking out from behind the card. Okay, so yes, the Mermaid in the Koi Pond. Pretty cards. So, rediscover my individuality. Really? I just rediscovered my sense of community. I spent all day hanging out with my besties, so... Alrighty, we have the unending sadness of looking back, endless regret, obsessive grief, replaying the past, and negative nostalgia. Well, that's just me not coping well with things that pissed me off in the past, but when did I ever cope well with those things, right? If you know me, you know. And last but not least, because I typically only do 3 of these cards, we have the fairy ring. Get your head out the gutter. New skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. I love that it's a circus. I love that it's a carnival. I think that's amazing. And it's got a bunny. I love it. It's pretty. So, okay, so we have a whole bunch of become yourself. Don't delve in the past when you become yourself. You're not defined by your past. And we have new training, new skills, rapid improvements. So if anybody's been wishing for something new to come their way, then apparently you have to let go of the past. Oh my God, me? Have I ever heard that before? And can basically get over it. Have I heard that before? Have you heard that before? Don't tell me you haven't. All right, y'all. Let me actually put those in the box before they spill, because if they spill, that's just going to make Auntie Rosie's reading all upsetting. Okay, and y'all don't want that. Like, I know y'all are here for the thorns and all, but that's more like if you fell into the rose bush and couldn't get out. Anyway, let's pull our medicine cards. We're going to pull 2 today. All right, because it's a bit of reading. Y'all may remember I got to read out of this book. All right, so let's just pull and see. Okay, the bear came up of its own accord. Okay, flipped right out of my hands. We have the bear card. Roar! That might explain my throat right now. Because I'm being all bear right now. And you know, I think bear came up last time, didn't it? Okay, so bear is introspection. The strength of bear. I'm going to go fast. Slow me down if you need to, or go get the book. It's chapter 5, the bear, of the medicine cards deck. You actually can Google these if you need to. So if I'm going too fast, Google it. We grew up with Google. Well, y'all grew up with Google. I evolved into Google. Wish I had bought stock in Google. I would be rich with Google. The strength of bear medicine is the power of introspection. It lies in the west on the great medicine wheel of life. Bear seeks honey, or the sweetness of truth, within the hollow of an old tree. In the winter, when the ice cream, I'm not that fat, am I? When the ice queen reigns and the face of death is upon the earth, bear enters the womb cave to hibernate to digest the year's experience. It is said that our goals reside in the west also. To accomplish the goals and dreams that we carry, the art of introspection is necessary. To become like bear and enter the safety of the womb cave, we all go back to the womb in one way or the other. We must attune ourselves to the energies of the eternal mother and receive nourishment from the placenta of the great void. Yeah, this is... Anyway, the great void is the place where all solutions and answers live in harmony with the questions that fill our realities. If we choose to believe that there are many questions to life, we must also believe that the answers to these questions reside within us. Each and every being has the capacity to quiet the mind, enter the silence, and know. To know. I don't know why I'm being goofy. Many tribes have called this space of inner knowing the dream lodge, where the depth of the illusion and physical reality overlays the expansiveness of eternity. It is in the dream lodge that our ancestors sit in council and advise us regarding alternative pathways that lead to our goals. This is the power of bear. Now, what were we just talking about with the fairy oracle deck, the shapeshifters oracle deck? Okay, that new training, new skills, new knowledge, I think it was. And that could come from our ancestors that sit in council. So, gosh, do I really want any of my ancestors showing up? Yeah. The female receptive energy that for centuries has allowed visionaries, mystics, and shamans to prophesy is contained in the very special bear energy. In India, the cave symbolizes the cave of Brahma. Brahma's cave is considered to be the pineal gland that sits in the center of the 4 lobes of the brain. If one were to imagine an overview of the head, the top of it would be the circle. The south would be the forehead, the north would be the back of the skull, the west would be the right brain, and the east to the left brain. Bear is in the west, the intuitive side, the right brain. To hibernate, bear travels to the cave, which is in the center of the 4 lobes where the pineal gland resides. In the cave, bear seeks answers where she is dreaming or hibernating. Bear is then reborn in the spring like the opening of spring flowers. You know, I was sitting there thinking last night, like, I need to throw, and I've said this in a previous video, I need to throw a party for my deities, but I need to actually just sit and meditate with them. So this kind of confirms that for me in the sense of cold reading, okay? Something for y'all to think about, too. For eons, all seekers of the dream time and of visions have walked the path of silence, calming the internal chatter, reaching the places of rites of passage, the channel or pineal gland. From the cave of bear, you find the pathway to the dream lodge and the other levels of imagination or consciousness. In choosing bear, the power of knowing has invited you to enter the silence and become acquainted with the dream lodge so that your goals may become concrete realities. This is the strength of bear. So, now we all know too, bear is very, that whole mother energy thing. So that might have a clue as to who's coming talk to me in that. Y'all might notice the last couple of videos I have kind of felt better about her than I normally do, which is saying something considering everything. So, who knows? Maybe she's already been there. All right, let's pull a second card before I really drive y'all nuts with the length of this thing, okay? Because we're getting there, and I want to speed this up. Owl. Owl. No, I didn't hurt myself. Boom. I moved, so something hurt. But owl. The owl card. All right, let's do some reading real fast. Very fast. Very fast. 26. I need to move faster. No, I don't. Screw it. Y'all can wait. I'm good. I deserve y'all to wait. Owl means deception. Owl medicine is symbolically associated with clairvoyance, astral projection, and magic, both black and white. Owl is called night eagle in several medicine wheels used by Amerindian. If I've said that wrong, I apologize. Amerindian teachers. Traditionally, owl sits in the east, the place of illumination. Since time immemorial, that's a word I don't use often, humanity has been afraid of the night, the dark, and the unseen, waiting fearfully for the first crack of morning light. Controversially, night is owl's friend. Owl hunts its prey at night. Not only can owl see in the dark, I'm saying owl specifically because otherwise I'm going to sound like I'm aching the whole entire time I'm reading this. So if that's why I'm emphasizing it, that's why, okay? Not only can owl see in the dark, but it can also accurately pinpoint and identify any sound. This gives it a great advantage when seeking food. Owls are the night hunters. Some native people are fearful of owl, and not just native, some people, are fearful of owl. I think owls can scare the crap out of anyone in the right circumstance. And call its feathers deceiver feathers. An owl feather is silent. You cannot hear owl when it flies, but its prey definitely knows when it strikes, for its beak and talons are razor sharp. Owl is oftentimes the medicine of sorcerers and witches. If owl is your medicine, you will be drawn to magical practices and perhaps explore the dark arts. Practice the chaos arts, not dark arts. You should resist any temptation to practice black magic or any art that takes energy away from other person or being. I don't take it away, I move it. If you have owl medicine, these night birds will have a tendency to collect around you, even in the daytime. I've been collecting roadrunners because they recognize a kinship with you. Is it any wonder that in many cultures owl is a symbol for wisdom? This is because owl can see that which others cannot, which is the essence of true wisdom. Where others are deceived, owl sees and knows what is there. Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, has a companion owl on her shoulder which reveals unseen truths to her. Owl had the ability to light up Athena's blind side, enabling her to speak the whole truth as opposed to only a half-truth. If owl is your personal medicine, no one can deceive you about what they are doing, no matter how they try to disguise or hide it from you. You may be a little frightening to be around. I typically am. I'm not sorry for it anymore. Since so many people have ulterior motives, which you see right through that, yeah. Like, don't act like I don't see the bullshit right in front of me. But no, as a society, we're supposed to be polite enough to not mention it. I'm not that person, have never been that person. If you are unaware of your medicine power, you may take your keen insights and abilities for granted. Others never do. You may frighten them and reflect their blindness, for you cannot be fooled. Owl medicine people know more about an individual's inner life than that person knows about herself or himself. If you have pulled the owl card, you are being asked to use your powers of keen, silent observation to intuit some life situation. Owl is befriending you and aiding you in seeing total truth. Owl can bring you messages in the night through dreams or meditation. Pay attention to the signals and omens. The truth always brings further enlightenment. The truth shall set you free. No, I call it an owl, but I'm trying to say the L in there. Owl. Alright, folks, so far it's not my longest video, so I'm going to let y'all go while y'all still have some time to get out of here with your sanity, because God knows mine is starting to waver. Bye, y'all.